Hi guys, this is Tim Queen, and today we're going to talk about how to get 500,000 views on LinkedIn, how I got it, and what you can learn from that. So this happened last year, and I was doing a couple of experiments, like seeing like which topics would resonate really well. And I was like doing a lot of experiments in terms of structure and seeing really how I can get the LinkedIn algorithm to work. I want to see how far I can stretch the controversial topic, because I know when you have something that is polarizing people, where people have very strong but different opinion, you can get a lot of attention, or you can create a lot of conversations about a topic. And when a lot of people engage in forms of comments, you will see that LinkedIn considers this a very good post and will show this to many people. So when I was creating this post, and I found some topics on the LinkedIn platform which I particularly didn't like, mainly cat and dog memes, like some people posting religious stuff, recruiting people, some people starting talking about politics. There was a lot of talk about feel good topics like that are completely fake. So what I was doing then, I was writing a list. Dear LinkedIn, these are some of the topics that I would like to see more frequently, and here are some of the topics that I would like to avoid. So I was really like black and white. Like I said, like, this is what I love, this is what I hate. Please change this. When I was posting this, I didn't expect the reaction I would receive afterwards. So what happened was I really hit the nail on the head. Like, a lot of people got really upset. They started sending me comments. A lot of them were really angry. A lot of people totally agreed with me. So there was like this battle between people, and people starting fighting in the comments. In no time, this post got over 25,000 views in total. And what was really interesting when I was reading this, you have to imagine this 500,000 views. Like LinkedIn at that time, they had probably like 500 million people. Now imagine 500,000 people. That's a lot of people. That's 500,000 people. Try to imagine how many people you could fill multiple stadiums with that many people. And when you get into this number of people, you start to notice some really interesting things happening. Mainly what I noticed was that a lot of people didn't even read my post, but they were rather reacting what one of their friends had said themselves. So for example, some person would say, why do you hate cats? Which is completely untrue, but some people like to get offended. If I don't like to have cat news, doesn't mean I hate cats. I just feel it's a business platform and I don't want to see the cat pictures. But she took this really personal. So she left a comment and said like, why do you hate cats? And then one of her friends saw this post, and then she started reacting to the comments. So she said like, yeah, why do you like to abuse animals? I'm like, what? Are you like nuts? And then like some of their friends, they read this comment, why do you like to abuse animals? And then it turned out to demonizing me, that I'm like the cat killer or something. It's like completely ridiculous. But you see, this is a very important lesson for you to be learned. Once you get a certain amount of people inside, the rationale will be gone. There will be some people who they see a completely different world. You might lay on a green patch of grass and they say you're sitting on a red carpet. It's like some people's reality is so distorted, there is no connection to anything real anymore. And if you are, especially if you're polarizing, people can get really upset. And you just have to see this as like an effect of, once you are growing viral, you will be faced with a lot of people who are not actually reacting to what you said, but what someone else said, or some very distorted version of yourself. And I found the best way is completely to ignore this, to not engage with those people, and just focus on the people who actually care and who actually spend the time reading it. You just have to see this as something like, there's a certain percentage of people in the population who will react this way, and there's no point in wasting your time in trying to tell them how the world works and how they should see it. It's just much more enjoyable and much more results driven by actually talking to the people who actually can see the world for what it is. If you want to create a viral post that gets you 100,000, 500,000, a million views, it's always good to think about this first. Try to get people to talk about a certain topic. That doesn't have to be controversial, and you shouldn't be controversial just for the sake of being controversial. If you share an opinion which is controversial and you are 100% believing in that, that's great. If you're willing to share that, that's perfect. But don't just try to provoke people for no reason, especially if it's not your opinion and you're just like trying to find something, because then you're nothing else other than a troll who's like just creating tension. It really depends. Also, like what I want to tell you is it really important to get 500,000 views? Will I get any more business from that amount? Because the topic of talking about cat pictures is not necessarily attracting people who want to work with me. So that's another thing you want to keep in mind. It's in a way, getting this many views will boost your ego, but it will not get you the business results. That's why today I'm not really focusing on doing this kind of engagement anymore. I'm picking my topics very carefully because I've figured out there is actually a much smarter way how you can create content on LinkedIn. Content that gets you less engagement, but the engagement that you're getting is from the right people who have money and who have a problem they want to get fixed. And I found that this is way more effective in generating leads for your business. So if you want to learn more about generating leads for your business, make sure that you subscribe and turn the notification bell on to get more LinkedIn marketing videos that actually work in real life. And I see you in the next video.